All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Today we got Rico Thompson here. He's the creator of a great new tech startup that's created to circumvent some of the HR problems in today's society. How you doing, Rico?
I'm well. Thank you,
Good,
bro.
good.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Rico.
Well, basically, I grew up in Cleveland, and my parents, we lived over in Huff, and basically, I had a normal life like everybody else. The only issue was when I was 6 years old, I actually got shot in my eye. And so for most of my childhood growing up, kind of had a sort of disfigured eye, if you will. But later on in life, I got it fixed, and here I am. But that had a lot of challenges with it, so you can imagine, all the name calling and whatever. But I think I came out okay.
Yeah. What part of Cleveland?
Actually, I grew up on what they call Huff Heights. Okay, which was one of the more notoriously rough parts of Cleveland. There used to be a hospital over there. It's not anymore, but Mount Sinai Hospital. So my apartment was right near there. So all my life, all I heard was a whole bunch of ambulance, and police cars all the time. Like, so that was kind of the thing I remember a lot of.
I understand you've partaken in a lot of different things in your life so far. You were an author at this point?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, I had recognized early on that something that many people really don't know because they never went to college, and that is that if you don't have a good cumulative GPA coming out of college, you really don't have much, right? And the only way to have a good cum coming out of college is to have a good cum when you start college. So my book, 15 Easy and Fun Ways College Freshmen Can Improve Their Vocabulary, talks about how to get the ball rolling quickly, as soon as you get to campus. There's no time to get adjusted and acclimated to college life and find out what's what. Hit the ground running, because that first semester sets up your cumulative GPA, right? And that's what follows you out throughout college. So 15 Easy and Fun Ways was created because a typical college semester is 15 weeks. So I created an exercise you can use for each week to develop your vocabulary and help you become a better writer, a better communicator, and a better thinker.
Interesting. Is that what you went to college for? Or?
No, it was actually just something that just kind of came to me because I saw the need, and I said, let me make this happen. I was pre-med bio.
I also see that you had something to do with radio.
Left college a little early. Moved out to New York City, and for I would say probably the next 10 years after that, I worked in entertainment in different facets, and one of those was radio. I was working with WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem, and I had a show that came on at night called The Major Leagues Underground Hip Hop.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Sounds cool. Cool. And you attended Cleveland State and Wilberforce.
Got my undergrad from Wilberforce. Actually, I didn't get my undergrad from Wilberforce. I got my undergrad from City University of New York. Started at Wilberforce, right? But eventually when I moved out to New York, I finished undergrads there. But when I came back, I actually got my executive MBA from Cleveland State.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So how long was your stint in New York?
I was in New York probably 20 years.
Oh, wow.
20, yeah. Most I spent more time in New York than I did in Cleveland. Basically, most of my adult life was there. I met my wife there. I built my business there. Still got tons of friends, family, and all that, everything back there. So we go back frequently. And I miss it, but it is what it is.
I also see that this isn't your first time in a tech venture.
Yeah. I had dabbled a little bit here and there. At one particular time, I had come up with this idea that I called the PIN, P-I-N, as in like you put a pin in. And so basically, PIN stands for Personal Information Network. And it was basically a software system where you can keep your personal documents and things, because I kept hearing folks out in public, and they would go somewhere trying to take care of some business, and someone would tell them, oh, you need these 5 documents to apply for this particular service. And they'll go, oh, I got 4. And they'll go, well, when you got that other one, come back. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice to always have sort of that digital folder, if you will, at your disposal, so no matter where you go, no matter what documents someone asks you for, you're able to deliver to them. So I dabbled around with that, and you know, put a whole bunch of time and money and effort into it, whatever, and got to a point where I said, let me just put it out there and see what happens. So I actually sent in a proposal to Microsoft, and you know, I don't know what happened, but it was crazy. But they actually wrote back to me. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not naive, right? But this letter was from the office of Bill Gates. It wasn't from Microsoft, so it made me feel kind of special.
Yeah.
You know, kind of special. And I still had a letter to this day, and it's very motivational. But yeah, it was it kind of got me into the tech game.
Wow.
You know?
So that brings us up to date. Now you have the new tech company designed to
interviewLook.
circumvent some of the things in HR. So what was your reason for starting this, and what did you feel the need was with this type of HR company?
Well, you know, I'll tell you the truth. I wanted it for myself. You know, it's a video interviewing platform, and I wanted to produce a sort of a video resume, if you will, and shop it around and just try to get some feedback and see if it was a way to, you know, sort of change the game. Okay. And as I began to talk to people about this, everyone kept saying, "Well, I would like something like that. So when you build it, let me know." So I built it, and I let them know, and they started using it. I said, "Oh, okay, you know, not bad." So we've been out about a year now, and product's doing well. And basically, what it is it's a opportunity for job seekers to show the real them, if you will, you know, themselves. You know, they come onto the system, they create their own interview questions, they video interview themselves. Okay. Our system under the hood has a nice packaging system to it where, you know, our search list allows you to manipulate your questions in a way that it flows, you know, and then once it's all done, we call it a look, all right? And you have a link to this look, and you simply can send that link out via email, you know, a cover letter, whatever. It's pretty sweet.
So basically, you're allowing people to market themselves online and employers to basically see them without anybody else intervening or being part of that process.
Especially today, you know, in today's time, you know, with COVID-19, people are distancing themselves. I doubt if there'll be a whole bunch of face-to-face interviews happening anytime soon. You know, now of course everybody knows, you know, video has taken off because of this, right? Everybody's on Zoom or different apps or whatever. But the difference between our system and theirs is this. With ours, all the videos are pre-recorded. So if I'm a recruiter, I can sit back 9:30, 10 o'clock at night while my kids are asleep, okay? Go through a few videos, all right? Shortlist them and pick a candidate and reach out to them and then take it from there. Maybe we can Zoom afterward or whatever, all right? Our system, eventually you could do live interviewing. Something but a switch for us, but it wasn't our go-to initially because we wanted to remove that time barrier when you had to be interviewed and when I can see your interview. So, you know, so people love it. It's pretty cool. My wife and I sat up one night and just kind of dreamed this all up a few years ago. And, you know, we talk about this all the time. As a matter of fact, it was last night. As a matter of fact, it was me, you and I actually spoke about this once. You can talk all you want, but doing is a whole different thing. And, you know, it took a few conversations to find out where we wanted to go. But once we found out, you know, I've just been working at like day and night since then. You know, I love it.
Yeah, it sounds real useful.
Yes, it is. It is. People say the thing they like about it is this: not just the fact that you can do it anytime, okay, both the job seeker and recruiter, but I like the fact that you have a lot of control over it. Okay, recruiters at this particular time in the system, recruiters don't need to be registered, sign up, pay for anything. It's just they open the link that has the video in it and watch it, and that's it. No pay, no registration. You don't have to have my information or whatever. You know, all the job seeker need is a means of communicating with the recruiter, DM, email, whatever. Once they get the link in their hand, that's it. So it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. For both the job seeker and the recruiter right now, it's free. We do have a monetization strategy we're about to roll out, but that's something we talk about another time. But for now, it's free for both job seekers and job recruiters, and it's real easy to use. It's low tech. You don't need to have any tech skills or whatever. All you need is a webcam, and the internet.
That sounds great. I mean, like you said, in today's society, this is paramount at this point. Being being able to get things done online is probably at the top of the list of most firms. So,
especially with they just reported this morning that there are 34 million people unemployed. Okay, now you probably can easily tackle another maybe 10, 15 million who are just out of the system. They're not unemployed. They're not even on the in the count. You know, some guy lives sleeping on some bridge, whatever. He's not unemployed. He is far from anything of that nature to be on someone's list. So, at some point, a lot of these folks got to get back to work, right? Like all of us, okay? And how's that going to look? You know, are we all going to just start showing up at someone's door and start interviewing and shaking hands and everything like that? No, I don't think so. So my system does it, eliminates the whole time and geographic barrier, of course, you know.
That definitely sounds like something that would be very useful in today's society, considering no one really wants to have people in front of them right now. Everyone wants to do things online, get things done, you know, with people at their own home.
The stay-at-home thing is a funny kind of nomenclature, because staying at home, people think don't work. You still gotta work. You still gotta pay bills, right? So stay at home doesn't mean, you know, stay stagnant or stay, you know, unemployed per se. You know, like I said, 35 million people, you gotta get to work, you know? And the thing is this, when this kind of does pick up and people do start working again, right? And everyone's kind of curious, how would that look, right? I think our system fits in nicely, because you can set up as many Zoom calls as you want, but a full work day is really still only 8 hours, you know? So 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, what's going on then, right? The interviewer, the job seeker, can be still interviewing, right? Self-interviewed. The job recruiter can still be screening candidates because they don't necessarily need to have that candidate, you know, live, you know? And that's why our system works, because it eliminates that time barrier. I tell you and I going to the Zoom call, it's at 10:30, right? You and I both have to be somewhere at 10:30, right? So this system kind of eliminates that time barrier. That job announcement won't say anything about video interviewing, right? It just simply say apply the normal way, go through the motions. If they like you, they'll send you back a link saying, oh, we now like you to video interview. Okay? So you go through the motions again, video interview. You send it all back to them, and they take it from there. They want to do some face-to-face or whatever, you know, that's how it works. So you need to be invited. So that's why if you walk down the street and talk to your average job seeker, they've never heard of video interviewing. Why? Because they've never been invited to do it. Our system allows them to be autonomous. They can just work it on their own, create their own interview questions, okay? And share with whom they like, anytime they want to. So not limited to say, I can only do this when I'm invited to do it. But I can be proactive and do it anytime I can.
You were saying there are some differences between interviewLook and some of the other sites that are out there that do some of the similar things.
Yeah, I mean they're B2B plays, and you know it's cool. That's where the money's at. I get it, but that market is saturated. So I say, you know, I'd rather go after the job seeker, even though job seekers really probably won't have money like a corporation would, of course, but they have some means. Okay, and you know, the whole thing is to make it so that they're proactive, so they don't have to sit back and wait to be invited. Like I said, companies will post jobs and won't say anything about video interviewing at all. The vendor's in the background, of course. The vendor will allow the company to brand it the way they want to, you know, allow them to use their own language. They already have the questions that they want you to answer already preloaded into the system. So all they do is go in, get on, answer the questions, and send it back to them. You never see it. You can't reuse it. You don't even know if it was good or not. You know, it's just one of those kind of things. Got a lot of limitations to it. So as I spoke to my users, I began to pull these limitations off. A, you can get on anytime. B, you can create your own questions. C, you can use it over and over and over again. And as a matter of fact, just like resumes, you may have different resumes for different positions that you're applying for. You can have different looks. So let's suppose you might say you have your customer service look, right? You've got your marketing look, right? You might even have your managerial look, right? But these different looks will fit different audiences, and you'll have them on deck to shoot out anytime a job opens up.
Yeah, that sounds real useful. I can see how this is beneficial for employers too, because they get a chance to sort of pre-screen these employees and without having to actually interact with them.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I'm sure you may have been there before, but to be in a position where if someone comes to your office, sits down with you and wants to interview, a few seconds in, you simply don't vibe with them, you can't just stop the interview and kick them out. The video, a few seconds in, if I'm not feeling what you're saying or the way you're saying it, I can just stop it and move on. So I can short list. I can go through a list of 20 people, right, in 5 minutes, okay, right, and short list 3 or 4 of them and say, okay, I'm going to dig deeper. Simply because I see how they present themselves, right? I see the time they took to put into the video and making their look. I can see the questions they ask themselves. All that gives me signals whether I want to continue on, utilize my time with this person.
What questions would you have for, say, our audience?
Well, what I would say first of all is that, I'm going to put my email on here and our link, my LinkedIn link, so folks can get in contact with me. But what I'm interested in is this. You're probably not hiring right now because of the economy, but soon you will be. What I'm interested in is what positions will you be hiring for, right? And therefore we can tailor our system around that and say, this works for those type of positions, sales, customer service, call centers, whatever the case might be. So I want to have a conversation around how can I be of service? How can my product help you? And I said, people aren't hiring like crazy right now, but soon, those 35 million people are going to have to work somewhere, and they're going to be interviewed. So why not use interviewLook?
Well, thank you so much, Rico Thompson, for being with us today. It sounds like you got a great product for the world to see, and I wish you all the luck, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, sir. I so appreciate it. Hi, I'm Rico Thompson, CEO of interviewLook. If you're hiring, which you probably aren't, but you soon will be, check out interviewLook. We're at www.interviewlook.com. That's www.interviewlook.com. Thank you.